Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske for Simon Says Stamp, back with another installment of EZ with me, CZ. Today I'm going to show you a really quick technique for using any stencil with a pattern and some of your ink cubes, a little water, and some paper to make a fun background for any card project. Let's take a look at the supplies I'm using today. Here I've got this wonderful pattern stencil from Tim Holtz. I've got a little distress watercolor cardstock and some cool toned ink cubes from Simon Says Stamp. All I'm going to do today is do some smushing of ink, wetting it down, and transferring it to this watercolor paper. Now you can use the nubby side or you can use the smooth side. It doesn't really matter. I think though today I'm going to use the smooth side. So what I'm going to do is start out here with some seafoam and some surf. And we're just, splotching it down, and I'm going to take my Distress Spray Mister and get that moving. I'm going to pick this color up with the stencil. Oh, grab the end here. Jewels, not tools. Got to get underneath it. I can't dig. Pick it up and potch it down right on here and let that color transfer. I'm going to put a piece of acetate over it just so I can smooth my fingers over. And when you see, when I lift it up, we're going to have this funky but chic pattern on the paper. And then I can come in here again, swirl it around, and drop it again, like that. Okay? So we're just taking the pattern and basically stamping the stencil onto the paper like that. Okay, you can do it as many times as you like, and you can actually do this with pretty much any stencil you have, and the messier the better. So I'm gonna facilitate this drying by heat setting that a little bit, and I'm gonna wipe this up. I'm just gonna take the lower setting on my Wagner heat tool, just dry it out in between the color layers. And now we're going to layer in the next color. And of course, this works best when you have colors that follow one another on the rainbow, right? You don't want to jump too many levels, but this is going to be a really nice combo of these two colors on here. So again, we're going to get that color moving. I'm going to pick this all up. Right, tap it in. You're going to get some messy fingers on this. I got to pick this up here and pick it up and drop it down. You can use also a paper towel on the other side. You don't have to use acetate. I just thought acetate would be nice because it doesn't really, it doesn't suck anything up, right? The color stays. And I keep this in my workspace all the time. All right, so then you pick that up. That. Again, pick it up, pick that up, run it through, and we're going to come up a little higher here and drop it down. Like that. And again, you can do this as many times as you want, right? You can just keep picking it up and stamping, so to speak, your stencil onto your panel like that. All right, I will clean this up and we will take a look at the panel and see if it needs any other layers. I'm going to do one more light layer of the seafoam, just kind of to give it a little final blue area, right? We're going to pick it all up here like this. Make sure we are on and drop that down. Just for a little more up top. And over here. I am going to be doing some cropping of this, so it's not that critical, but there we go. I think that's just a little bit more. So I will dry this completely. We're going to trim this down and then pop a greeting on. For my greeting, I went ahead and used my CZ Design Just a Note. I cut 2 layers from white cardstock And then I also put 2 layers on the back so that now I can glue this directly onto my note card and it will look like it's floating. But before I do that, I'm going to die cut a panel, and I thought it would look really cute today to use my Simon Says stamped domed arches. And what's great about this is you can get the crops that you want. So maybe you want a little more of that blue up top, and you can just move it around wherever you have it, wherever you've done your stencil stamping. And I think that is going to be a very nice crop. I like the size, and I'm going to be putting this on a white note card. So I will go ahead and cut that out and we can finish out the card. I'm going to score a note card at 5.5 inches. So this will be a top folding USA 2. That's a foam square. And we will fold this down. And then I will give this a press with my Teflon bone folder. Like that. I'm going to tape this closed just so it stays shut while I'm popping on my panel. And here I have some Simon Says Stamp Big Mama foam tape on the back, and I'll take all the backers off. Like that. And then I'm going to pop this right onto the note card. I'm going to stand up here so that I can get that nicely centered on the panel. Isn't that pretty? So here's this really kind of artsy, funky background. Looks like I made my own pattern paper. And here I'm going to pop the Just a Note right on top with the vellum, but because I have added a few die cut layers to the back, it will hide the adhesive and it will look like it's floating. So we'll take our liquid glue, this is Connect glue, and just put enough. And even if this oozes out a bit, the vellum, you're not going to see it because it's separated from the actual vellum layer. I'm going to pop that right in the center, maybe a little more towards being up, like that, and let that adhere. For my greeting on the inside, I'm going to stamp something from Just a Note Notes. This is a set that is just designed for the insides of cards, although there is a large matching Just a Note here. So what I'm going to do is take the tape out here. I'm going to use my Misty for this because, you know what, I know how to do it. It won't mess it up. And I think it makes it easier when you've got to the 11th, you're at the final lap and you're like, is this going to work? If you use a stamp positioner, it will work. My grip mat is in there. It holds it in place. And I am going to, I think I'll do, here's to all the things that go unnoticed. You don't think I see how hard you work, but I do. And I'm so proud of you. Like that. Okay, that looks pretty straight. Pick it up. I mean, I can test it to see if it's straight, but honestly, I think that's going to look just fine. And I'm going to prime this a bit because I have not used this before. Let's run your finger over it to get that coating off. And I brought out my larger pad of Orchid because I thought this would be a nice coordination to the front of the card. So we'll bring it down and don't press too hard. And that is the greeting on the inside of that pretty card. Isn't that nice? Love it. I'm going to finish this off with 5 sequins. These are the Sparkle All the Way sequins. They're very neutral. I'm also just going to hold my card base closed with my big magnet here, and we'll go ahead and finish this out. It doesn't need much. This is just going to add some nice neutral shine. A little glue and boop. One here, boop. Coming on down. And the last one, boop. And that's my finished card project for today, showing some really quick stencil stamping. This is something you can do with any stencil you have. You can do it with any ink colors that you have. Dye inks work great, but you could use distress inks as well, and oxides. Give it a try today, and then just die cut your panel to a shape for your note card. And again, don't forget, it's a cute little note on the inside too. You can check out the Simon Says Stamp blog for more photos and information on this card project today. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you back here with another card project next month.
Hi there, I'm Heidi, Simon's mama and founder at simonsaysstamp.com. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you like what you just saw, be sure to press the thumbs up and subscribe to see more great content.